My stepmother literally told me to give her my dead mother's house so she wouldn't have to live in a flat anymore, so I told her to drop dead. Plus one update by you/me versus stepmom Ita. A 17-year-old female mom died a little over a year ago. I was living with her full-time before she passed. She left me a lot of money and her house. Since the house was just going to stay empty until I was done with college, my aunt on my mom's side and I talked about it, and we agreed she would stay there since she's taking care of my grandma and her place was small. I will move back in once I finished my schooling. My dad assumed my mom left me her money and left the house to my aunt. I didn't correct him because I don't trust my dad or have a great relationship with him. I am currently living with him, his wife Jan, and her twin daughters, two 17-year-olds who are both lovely people, in a 3-bedroom flat. 2 months ago he found out that my mom left me the house. I'm not sure how he found out, but he did. Since then I haven't heard the end of it. I'm selfish for making us all stay in a tiny flat. I'm spoiled because I won't share my inheritance. And I'm a terrible person for making the twins take out loans. You get the gist. This weekend was the twins' birthday at my grandma's house. Most of my dad's family was there. We get along great usually. His wife's family, and some of both of their friends there along with the twins' friends. After they were done opening my present to them, they asked me if that was really it. I got the matching bracelets with their birthstones, which they both loved by the way. It got quiet and I asked them what else they were expecting. They said Jan said that I was planning on surprising them on their birthday by telling them we were moving into my mom's house and helping them with college. My grandma asked Jan if this was true and Jan started in on me again. She asked what she could do to make me stop being a bitch, pull my weight, help out, and be fair. I told her she could drop dead, that my mom died for me to get all these things she wanted me to give her daughters. I said if she wanted everything to be fair then she should drop dead and I would share everything I had with her daughters since we would have all lost a mother then. That it would be fair only after that happened. She and my dad started yelling at me and my grandma and uncles started yelling at my dad and Jan, and everything was pretty much over after that. The whole ride home my dad and Jan were getting calls and texts from family and friends telling them they were disappointed in them, and I was getting texts from Jan's family, the twins' friends, and a few of my own cousins saying I was selfish. I don't usually fight with my cousins, so I'm really starting to think maybe I am being selfish and that I went too far at the twins' party. Am I the asshole? Before updating, OP dropped some crazy context in the comments. When someone asked about why her cousins turned on her so quickly, OP replied, as some of you guessed, my cousins heard the word inheritance and got greedy and that's why they sided with them. I was getting texts asking for money from them these past few days. Another person questioned the father's ignorance of the situation, and OP clarified, my dad assumed my mom left me her money and left the house to my aunt. I didn't correct him because I don't trust my dad or have a great relationship with him. Update a few days later. Thank you guys so much for the support. When everyone who usually backs you up says you're an asshole, it's hard to believe you're not. But as some of you guessed, my cousins heard the word inheritance and got greedy and that's why they sided with them. I was getting texts asking for money from them these past few days. I am moving in with my grandma on my dad's side. She picked me up this morning and we've been moving my stuff instead of going to school today. The twins talked to their friends and they have texted their apologies. Although I'm not going to pay for their whole college experience, I think I'm going to help them buy books and with on-campus living. They have really had my back on this and that's amazing. I'm going no contact with my dad. He chose her over me and I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Here is what people had to say. Commenter 1. I've read too many damn stories on here. I immediately knew the whole setup of someone's relative dying and getting the house and telling off their other relatives in some dramatic display. The third sentence said all I needed to know. Commenter 2. These stories always have a flood of texts from multiple parties after the big moment. Bullshit. Commenter 3. A minor's only surviving parent was not aware of major financial assets in the minor's name? Okay.
Honestly, here's my take. This is a textbook case of entitlement by proximity, where adults view a child's tragedy as their own personal lottery. Jan's attempt to weaponize her daughter's birthday to guilt trip a grieving teenager is manipulative on a level that is truly hard to fathom. While the OP's drop dead comment was brutal, it was a direct reflection of the grim reality that Jan was trying to profit from a mother's death. The fact that the father stood by while his wife insulted his daughter and then joined in shows exactly why the OP was right to keep her inheritance a secret. It is a sad but necessary step for a 17-year-old to go no contact, but when a parent sees you as a piggy bank rather than a child, there is nothing left to save. Subscribe for more daily stories. Should a child ever be expected to fund their step-siblings' lives using an inheritance from a deceased parent?